Hello and welcome back to my channel, Makeup by Siobhan XX. Today we're going to be viewing the Huda palette, but before that, this look I have already done a tutorial. I'll pop the link in the description box below. So this palette on the back says, immerse yourself in the soft warmth of the desert, rays of the sunshine, light washing the sky, and dunes with rich hues of changing plums, corals, ochres and golds. 18 mesmerising shades encapsulated in 4 ready-to-layer textures. 8 buttery mattes blending with your skin for colour that does not move. 6 sublime pressed pearls casting shimmery veil over your eyes. 3 duochrome toppers revealing their magic under the light. And 1 daring glitter for audacious looks celebrating your inner #desert queen. Now, from what I've heard, and it's obviously only been out a few days, the glitter has come broken, so I'm just going to pray and hope that this isn't the case with mine. So we're just going to open it. The packaging is nice, it's quite sleek. So yeah, just get it open. So that is the cover. Now I've got the old one next to us to compare it. This one does feel quite heavier, but that's only because it does have a mirror inside. So that's them side by side in front. So they are exactly the same size, but obviously the difference being that this one does have a mirror. So when we open it up, we'll get this film, and then this is the palette. Now look, my Cosmo is okay. I'm so pleased. Thank you. So I think we should just get on with it, although that Twilight shade, swoon. So I'm just going to be trying this on dry skin. I'm not putting any primers, anything on. I am just going to be doing finger swatches, and I'm just going to do a normal, you'll see what I'll do. I'll do a swirl and then swatch. So this one is Desert Sand. That's what it's like on the finger. And that's the swatch. Now that is quite close to my skin tone, so I'll put a second one over it. It is very buttery and it really does apply very well. I really do like that shade. And that was Desert Dusk. The next one is Musk, and this is quite a cool toned brown. Again, just swirls, nothing too heavy. And that is Musk. I do really like these mattes. They do feel a little bit different to the first palette, but in a good way. They do feel a bit more buttery. And I'll do a second swatch over that. And there you go. Next, it's Eden. Now this, I think, nearly one of my favourite colours, because I do love peachy colours. As you can tell, they are my favourite kind of tones. And I think this one, I think that's a pearl. It does look like it's got a little bit of sheen to it. No, I think it doesn't matter. That's it on the finger. Ooh. Now that actually reminds us of Il Mascara by Vapor, and that is one of my favourite shades. So I definitely do love that. And that was Eden. Next we're going in Amber, which, just look. This is Amber. Woohoo. Yes. Look at that. Damn. I'm so excited for this palette. Well, I was beforehand, but now that it's in my hands, I literally cannot wait to play with it. And that was Amber. So the next colour is Blood Moon, and this is one of the metallics. And that is Blood Moon. Oh, ooh. Look at that. Ooh. Yes, on every level, yes. I don't even think I'm making any sense, but oh my lord, look at that. Oh, that'll be perfect for just popping on the lid. Ooh. I'm just gonna give my hands a wipe. And the next colour on the first row is Oud, and that is this shade here. It's a lovely dark chocolate brown. I'm not very good at swatching, as you can tell. They're going this way and that way, but you do get the idea. She's definitely stepped up her game with this palette, not gonna lie. Now the next shade is Celestial, and this looks kind of just like the lighter version of Blood Moon in the palette. Whether it comes off like that, I'm not sure. Oh no, it is completely different. It is like a yellow gold colour with a peach like shift. So this is definitely one of the duochromes. Can you see that? So oh, that is such a unique colour. Like, I've not seen a duochrome with that yellow and then that peach. Well done. I am impressed. Got an itchy nose. The next shade in the palette is, now I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but Nefertiti. I'm going with it. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, look at that. Now that does look to be one of, what to call them, pressed pearls. It's got like little specks of glitter in it. I'm not too sure if you can see there, but this is Nefertiti. And now I am literally so excited because the next shade is pretty much the reason I bought this palette, although I do see the peaches and the oranges are my favourite colours. I do love odd colours. So this one is Twilight, and it's a purple blue duochrome. It is just heaven in a pan. That's what it is. It should have been called Heaven, not Twilight, Heaven. Come on, be amazing. Don't let me down. Ooh. Ooh. Right, I'm so excited. Ooh. Ooh. Yes, I'm sold. Well, I'm sold anyways because I bought the bloody palette, but yes, 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 I do daft dances. And now I'm just going to clean this arm off because we're halfway through the palette. So far, I have to say, I'm very impressed. It is, in my opinion, it is much better than the, what's it called, rose gold palette. The mattes aren't as chalky, because I did find the first batch was very chalky, and then I sold it, and then my friend recommended to try it again because she bought it again and hers was different, so I bought it again and they were different. So I'm not sure, maybe it's what they changed, or if they changed anything, I'm not too sure, but the one I've got now is much better than the original one I had, and this one is even better than the one I've got now. So I'm just gonna let my arm dry, but that Twilight shade, oh, honestly, I just, nah, there's no words. So the next shade I'm going to be swatching is called, I don't know if I'm going to say this one, I know how to say it, but I cannot say it, I don't know. Amethyst? Amethyst. Take it, I can't say that. It's like a cross between a pink and a purple. It's actually, it looks very similar to Colourpop 143. So that one, I don't know if it's because my arm's wet. It's actually not that wet, but this one's come off a bit streaky. I'm gonna do it again. Well, I think it was because, although no, that one isn't as good. Sorry, but no, I'm not sure if that's, I think looking at it, it might be one of the pearls because it doesn't feel as buttery as the mattes, but that one wasn't as impressive as the rest, and in fact that one's the worst one by far. Anyway, moving on. The next shade is Royal, and that's like a maroon, I'm not sure if it's a duochrome red or if it's just a metallic. Feels lovely though, they're lovely, and that's maroon. Oof. Now that is what you want out of a swatch. That's incredible. The foils, again, compared to the last palette, I don't know how to explain it. This is my last palette. They were like bitty. In this one they're kind of a lot smoother. Like if you can see there, they're quite bitty. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, they were a lot smoother. And that was Royal. So again, clean my fingers. The next shade is Retrograde, and this reminds us of MAC Blue Brown. It has, obviously it's like MAC Blue Brown, so it has a blue and brown shift to it. Some bits of teal, I would say, rather than blue. It's actually quite an odd shade, this one, because now I'm pulling it back in the light, it looks, rather than brown, it looks like a purple. It's quite odd, so we'll see how it swatches. This is really weird. Now I've swatched it on my finger, it's looking like a red base. So you can see the blue. That's it in the pan. And then if I tilt it that way, it kind of looks a bit red. Kind of like a triple chrome. So it is quite red based rather than brown based. And that is it there. You can't really see the blue too much with one swatch. I'll try it again. No, the blue is definitely a little bit more subtle. It is there, it's just not as in your face as what MAC Blue Brown is. Still, nonetheless, it is a really pretty colour. I really like it. The next shade is Cashmere. This is Cashmere. I mean, it's kind of like a taupe colour. Quite a cool colour, would go quite nice with that musk colour. So this is Cashmere. Yep, that is really, really, really nice. And that reminds us of, I think it's MAC Cocoa Motion, the pigment. It's been discontinued, but yeah, that is really, really nice. Now, in the last palette, people were saying the files were the best thing, and I honestly don't agree. But this time round, it's quite hard to say because the mattes are amazing, but the files are just like, well, you see my face before. Now, this next shade obviously doesn't take a lot to confuse us, but I feel a bit duped. My own fault, I didn't look at what colours were in the palette because I thought it was going to be whole new shades, as you'd expect, but actually it's not. This next shade was in the Rose Gold palette, and it is Angelic. Angelic there. Angelic there. Now, looking at them both, I don't know if I can hold both up at the same time. They do look a little bit different. One of them is more coppery, and that is in the older palette, which it looks more like MAC Rose. In this palette, the pink looks, the copper looks softer. So I might swatch both. I'll swatch both on my wrist. I'm just going to do it off camera so I can see what I'm doing. Right. So this is on the Desert Dusk palette, and this one is on the Rose Gold. Now, as I said before, no, they are pretty much the exact same shade, although, like I said, it does look like it's got less copper in it. So I think they have reformulated it, and as I said before, it's a lot smoother, the newer palette, but they are basically, if not the same shade. So, moving on. Right, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this one. This one is Cosmo, and this is the only glitter in the palette. So, I'm just going to swatch this with my finger, and it came off really nicely. Now, I don't actually use pressed glitters, so this is a first for me. I normally use loose. So it is quite odd. Kind of feels like, and don't hit this the wrong way, it kind of feels like wet sand. It's not scratchy. It is quite fine. I think if you were to pack it on, it would look really nice. And they've got tones. I can see yellow gold. I can see obviously the copper gold, pink. There are quite a few colours in there. Now, what on Turkish Delight, and this is a more red version of Royal. I would say Royal's more purple, this one is more red. This is this colour. There is Royal, and that's the one we're going to swatch now. It's Turkish Delight. Yeah, that is a lot more red. That is Royal, and that is Turkish Delight. Royal, Turkish Delight. It's nice. It is a bit more orangey as well. It's kind of like a cross between an orange and a red. Now the next shade is called Saffron. been quite excited for this colour because I don't actually think I've got anything like it. I've got a bright red like Vapor, I've got a red brown, but I don't have anything like this shade, so I am quite excited for it. Ooh. Ooh. Now I think I've got a mascara next to this Demon, so just to show you the difference, this is the best red I've got in my collection. So that is like obviously a true red, and that is a darker red. It's like it is a cross between a red and a brown, and I know that's obviously obvious, but that's the only way I can explain it because I've not had a colour like this before. It's got to be perfect for the coming months. Oh no. Oh no. It's like this before. It isn't as bad, but it kind of feels like I'm having to really pull down on it to get it to move. I'm gonna go over it again. Let's have a look. This is another one of those pressed pearls. It's okay, I think if you packed it on your brush it'd be fine, but for one swatch it wasn't as good, and that colour could have been amazing. It is okay, it is that. The last colour is Blazing, and I'm going to pick up Vapor by Alaska to show you the difference. Vapor's a lot lighter, more yellow toned. So that is Vapor, which I've already got, and that is Blazing. True orange colour. Oh yeah. Look at that. That is lovely. And the last swatch, please be good. Yeah. That is how we want it. And that is all of the swatches complete. I am going to be doing a full look with only using this palette, so I'm going to go back over it. What did I think? I think for the best part it is much better than the first one, which is Rose Gold. I think the foils are a lot smoother, they're not as bitty, and they do apply very well. They do go on easy. Whether they go on with brushes, again, that'll be a thing I will try when I do the tutorial. The mattes have improved drastically. There's not a bad thing I could say about the mattes themselves. However, those pressed pearls weren't the best, and that was I can't say this. Amethyst in Saffron, and Saffron I was really looking forward to, and although that one wasn't as bad, the worst shade in this palette for PR definitely was Amethyst. And that is everything. So thank you for watching. I will post the tutorial with this in the next few days. Thank you for watching, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye!